Welcome back to the Generation Y. You're with me, Scott Sundiata Keita. It's all about youth empowerment through music, and I'm joined now by Naomi.Pt, the ambassador of One Vibe Africa, and she's going to tell us what's that all about. Being an ambassador, it's a big name.
It is.
Now, the organization, of course, supports talent. How important do you think it is for, say, of course, here back in Kenya, just to support young people coming up with their talents?
I think it's very crucial, very crucially important to support the youth and everything they're doing, from fashion to music to anything, because youth have very powerful minds and very creative, and they're always bringing in new ideas. Like, we learn so much from the youth.
Well, why is it that most young people usually are afraid of following their dreams? Or what do you think is the reason?
A lot has to do with their support system, especially if their parents are like, you know, like telling them, no, you're going to be a doctor, but you want to be a guitar player, and a famous worldwide guitar player. But if you put your mind to it and you believe it yourself, I truly believe that.
How was it for you? How was it for you, like choosing to just follow your career in music, doing Afropop? Was it conflicting with the idea of your parents?
In the beginning, yes, very much so, especially because I was in school at 15. So I would always come to Kenya, I'd record a video, release it, and then leave, like, because I'd always have to go back to school. Because one thing my dad did say, which I support, is always like, you have to get your education at the end of the day. Education is very important. But so it was really hard for my dad to understand that I wanted to make a living out of music. It's still to this day, I think it is. But he accepts it because he loves me, and they always support me. So yeah, but my mother is my biggest supporter and my biggest fan.
He's like, hey, a cheerleader.
I know, yep.
Awesome stuff. Now, coming back to One Vibe Africa again, how do you guys identify talent, and like, how do you make sure you identify the best talents and you train the best talents? How do you identify?
How do you identify? Well, like I said, there's a process they go through. It's really Simon and them who get to choose. So I'm not really into that part too much.
So as an
involved.
ambassador, you
I just get to accept the kids, yes, you know. And then the kids that didn't fall on like the roster for the certain semester, they'll always have the next semester to come in. Yeah.
So they're always included in the next semester.
Exactly.
Amazing
so we're
stuff.
Always like, you know.
Yeah. So tell us what to expect in the Made in Kisumu Festival. What should people out there expect?
Oh man, it's gonna be an amazing concert. What should you expect? You should expect greatness. Like, we're gonna have fun. It's gonna be a blast. Even the kids are actually gonna perform in the Made in Kisumu event. So you'll get to see, they'll showcase their talents and what they've been working on and what they've been doing. So yeah.
You should see some of the kids doing Afropop. I mean, you should mentor some of them.
For real.
Awesome stuff. Now, in the line of just thinking different, what do you think young people out there should change about themselves? Because we're seeing a lot of young people getting radicalized into criminal activities, young people dropping out of school, getting into drug abuse. What do you think young people should change about themselves?
What should young people change about themselves? I think that when youth starts like getting into like drugs, and even like we see a lot of young teens becoming pregnant, dropping out of school, it's really who they're hanging around. Like, that definitely plays a big part. It's their environment, it's their support system, again, back to that, because so definitely all of that has to change. But sometimes it's not even like they chose that life, like to do those drugs or sell the drugs, but sometimes they're just sucked into it, even through family, like, or
How do you, especially personally, how do you maintain your discipline? How do you make sure that you just don't drift to something that is not?
Well, the support system is where that comes in. Honestly, my mother would never let me drift into nothing because she would beat the heck out of me. So yeah, the support system.
Is there anything personally you do that makes you just keep going?
I have a mentor. I have a mentor. She's in the States, and it's like she had started this. It's called what is it called? Sisters of Vision. So it was a girls mentoring thing. It was through like our church, and that's another thing. Go to church. You know, keep
church.
God first. As long as you
Exactly.
keep God first, like then I think your path is.
So mentoring again came out to help you.
Yes, so I had a mentor, and that was very helpful because there was times when I always felt like giving up, but I could always run to her and just talk, you know, because it's not like you're talking to your mom or your sister, like, because I always talk to Angela, but sometimes they just don't understand, you know, and of course they do, but they're going to tell you what they think because, you know, from their opinion, because they want to see you doing this, you know, so they're not going to tell you the real world, like what's going on. So having a mentor was very helpful.
Nice. Now, what about some of your personal projects that you're doing towards just empowering young people out there, giving information to young people out there towards self-development and self-progress?
Well, I'm creating a company.
Oh, nice.
I won't disclose the name yet, but
It's
it
still
is
under-
it's still in the process.
Yeah.
But it's basically empowering youth through music, and we will be working with from orphans to young youth in schools, even that are not in schools, the ones who maybe can't afford the school or their parents just choose not to let them go to school. Oh, and it's so sad when I see these kids like,
Totally sad,
yeah, like what are you doing out of school? Because school is free for like little kids. So I don't get that sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And talking about school and the whole curriculum, what do you think are some of those changes that should be made? Probably focus more on talent than the academics. What changes would you propose?
I would say that I would love to see Kenyan curriculums focus on talent.
Exactly.
I would really love to see that because you see very little of it in school. They're always just, this is what you're studying, here's the final exam at the end of the year, you know? But, and also because there's so many creative kids out there, but they just haven't had the opportunity or the means even to like explore their talents.
How was it for you? School, where did you study?
I studied in the States. I went to a private school.
Was it any different from here?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But like I was one of 3 black girls in my whole entire grade.
Wow,
so
you
it
must
was
have
really
felt
hard. It was hard. It had its ups and it had its downs, but the education was wonderful. And they did focus on us and our talents. So I was always like in the youth choir. I was always doing music. I had created a dance team even at my school because I needed to dance.
So you dance too?
Yes, I do. But you know, it's just an outlet. And so when you don't have that outlet, sometimes you can go crazy.
Yeah, because you're trying to express yourself, but
Exactly.
there's no way to express
Exactly.
yourself. Amazing stuff. Now, a parting shot to our audience out there. One word you'd say to young people who perhaps are looking up to you, seeing you as a mentor. What would you tell them?
One word?
Yes.
That's
Or
pretty
maybe
hard.
perhaps in a sentence.
I would say always follow your dreams and never ever give up, and find that support system and find a mentor. It could be your next door neighbor, it could be your friend, but make sure that you have someone supporting you.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Probably not one word, but
I know, kind of many.
well, there you have it. Join us on the second segment as we watch and look at some of the things that One Vibe Africa and some of the music from NAOMI.Pt. Stay tuned.